Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, here in person as well as online, good morning and a very warm welcome to ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute. The ASEAN Studies Center at ISEAS is delighted to host the 24th ASEAN Lecture. The ASEAN Lecture series is an annual platform for the incoming ASEAN Chair to present their priority issues and deliverables for the upcoming year. This year, we are honored to showcase Lao PDR's ASEAN Chairmanship 2024 under the theme ASEAN Enhancing Connectivity and Resilience. Lao PDR is taking over the leadership of ASEAN under unprecedented challenging times, but promising to build a more connected and resilient ASEAN, strengthen ASEAN centrality and unity, and to develop a regional architecture for stability, peace, and development. We are privileged to have His Excellency Mr. Saleumxay Kommasith, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Lao PDR, to speak to us this morning. Before we begin, please allow me to draw your attention to a few housekeeping matters. This event is on the record and open to the media. The ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute reserves the right to make audio and visual recordings of the ASEAN lecture and post the recordings on our website. To ask a question, please use the microphones on your desk when invited by the moderator and state your name and affiliation. For our online audience, please use the Q&A function, stating your name and affiliation together with your question. To begin the proceedings, I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Choi Shing Kwok, Head of the ASEAN Studies Center, Director and CEO of ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute, to deliver his welcome remarks. Mr. Choi, please.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. On behalf of the ASEAN Studies Center of the ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute, I warmly welcome you to the 24th ASEAN Lecture. We are really very honored to have His Excellency Mr. Saleumxay Kommasith, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Lao People's Democratic Republic, to deliver this morning's address on the Lao PDR ASEAN Chairmanship 2024 under the theme of Enhancing Connectivity and Resilience. As Sharon has already said, the ASEAN lecture series that our ASEAN Studies Center has organized for many years, it is a key platform for incoming country chairs of ASEAN to share their plans and priorities for ASEAN every year. I'm glad that we can gather physically once again after having this flagship event in a virtual form during the pandemic. In addition, I also welcome those of you who are online from across the region and beyond. I believe that the lecture today will provide a good launchpad for Lao PDR to begin preparing the groundwork for its initiatives and deliverables for ASEAN in 2024. Laos is taking over the ASEAN gavel in challenging times with uncharted terrain as the region continues to grapple with complex developments that threaten to undermine ASEAN centrality and stability. Apart from tackling global issues such as climate change and supply chain disruption, new geopolitical developments, especially the ongoing US-China rivalry, have exacerbated existing tensions in the region, including the territorial disputes in the South China Sea, tensions across the Taiwan Straits, and provocative actions in the Korean Peninsula. Security-linked groupings centered around the concept of the Indo-Pacific and a variety of Indo-Pacific strategies have also impacted ASEAN centrality and called into question its role in the regional security architecture. The ongoing Myanmar crisis and the lack of progress in the implementation of ASEAN's 5-point consensus strikes even more deeply into the core of ASEAN's relevance in regional affairs and has put its unity under considerable stress. Amidst these shifting geopolitical and strategic realities, steadfast commitment to regional cooperation is now more important than ever if there is to be an anchoring of the region in peace and stability. As the recently concluded 43rd ASEAN Summit and related summits have shown, ASEAN is trying hard to maintain momentum in strengthening connectivity, reinforcing ASEAN centrality, and advancing economic integration even in the face of all the headwinds that I've spoke about. To further enhance its resilience, ASEAN needs to develop its capacity to anticipate, navigate, and overcome obstacles, bounce back from setbacks which will come, and become stronger in the face of future challenges. ASEAN has made significant progress this year by launching the negotiations on the ASEAN Digital Economy Framework Agreement, the first regional digital economic agreement in the world, and a major milestone in ASEAN's journey towards digital integration. The first round of the DIFA negotiations that took place just last week, on 1st December, is expected to lay the foundation for subsequent negotiating rounds and eventual completion by 2025. Other key initiatives achieved in 2023 include the adoption of the ASEAN Concord 4, which serves as a foundation for working towards the ASEAN Community Vision 2045, and the ASEAN Leaders Declaration on ASEAN as an epicentrum of growth. The region is also looking forward to further promote the ASEAN Outlook on the Indo-Pacific, or AOIP, through collaboration with external partners both from the public and private sectors, as well as engaging dialogue partners in the adoption of separate joint statements with ASEAN on cooperation on the AOIP. Through this, ASEAN aims to contribute to regional peace and stability, uphold a rules-based multilateral order, and enhance its own institutional capacity to remain relevant in a changing world. At the handover ceremony of the ASEAN Chairmanship, Prime Minister Sonexay Sipadon emphasized the importance of strengthening the ASEAN community by further enhancing connectivity and resilience to seize opportunities and address challenges in a changing geopolitical and geoeconomic landscape. He highlighted Lao PDR's resolve to enhance ASEAN cooperation, strengthen ASEAN unity and centrality, advance digital transformation, and promote people-to-people exchange, as well as cooperation for climate resilience. With this firm commitment against a very sobering backdrop, we look forward to hearing the Deputy Prime Minister's deeper insight into the Lao PDR theme for 2024 in today's lecture. Before I give the floor to our distinguished speaker, let me briefly introduce him. His Excellency Mr. Saleumxay Kommasith is a distinguished career diplomat of the Lao PDR. Currently, he holds the dual appointments as Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs. In fact, we just had the pleasant discovery that His Excellency is actually helming on behalf of Lao PDR the ASEAN Chairmanship for the second time, because he was Foreign Minister since 2016, which was coincided with the first round that Lao PDR assumed the chairmanship, the previous round when Lao PDR assumed the chairmanship. Prior to becoming the minister, he held senior appointments in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs covering international organizational issues, as well as relations with Europe and America, among others. Mr. Kommasith has also served as the permanent representative of the Lao PDR to the United Nations in New York from 2012 to 2014. Deputy Prime Minister, it's now my very distinct pleasure to hand over the floor and to invite you to take the rostrum. Please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Choi Shing Kwok, Director and CEO of ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute, and distinguished guests, participants, excellencies, ambassadors of ASEAN countries, and distinguished participants. Good morning to all. First of all, I would like to sincerely thank Mr. Choi Shing Kwok and the ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute for the opportunity given to me and my colleague to talk on the Lao preparation for the Chairmanship 2024, especially about the theme as well as the possible priority areas for the Chairmanship of the Lao PDR 2024. I would also like to thank you very much for the hospitality and warm welcome extended to me as I speak here for the first time, representing the Lao PDR as Foreign Ministers of Lao PDR. I would also like to appreciate ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute for the important role they play over the past 4 decades in research and on the Southeast Asia and raising public awareness about ASEAN as a whole, as we understand that although ASEAN is more than 5 decades, but there is a room for us to do more in order to raise public awareness about ASEAN as a whole. Distinguished delegates and participants, I thank Mr. Choi Shing Kwok for outlining the state of affairs of at the regional and global level that would present to the Lao Chairmanship 2024. And I have an honor to share with you the theme, the essence of the theme, as well as the priority of the Lao Chairmanship 2024, which we will focus. There's no PowerPoint. Okay. Maybe I would like to ask someone to help me with the PowerPoint. It will be easy for you to follow. So let me start with the first point, which I would like to outline for you. I just want to share with you the importance ASEAN and where ASEAN stands for Lao PDR. As you probably are aware that Lao PDR is pursuing a foreign policy of peace, independence, friendship, and cooperation. And over the years, Lao PDR is persistently pursue that foreign policies. And regionalism and multilateralism are the foundation. We believe that is the foundation for our socio-economic development prosperity. And ASEAN is indeed responding to the aspirations and the core of our foreign policies. Therefore, the Lao PDR accession to ASEAN in 1917 our commitment to achieve the ultimate objective of building ASEAN community. Since joining ASEAN in 1997, and now it's 26 years ago, We have proactively engaged in ASEAN cooperation in all fields, including ASEAN external relations through ASEAN-led mechanism. And we successfully chair ASEAN twice, as Mr. Choi has mentioned. Laos has chaired ASEAN the first time back in 2004, 2005, and the second time in 2016. And next year, it will be the third time that Laos chair ASEAN since we joined ASEAN back in 1997. That's reflections of Laos' commitment to ASEAN. Now, before I brief you about the theme and priority of Laos Chairmanship next year, 2024, I would fully share the view by Dr. Choi about the state of affairs for 2024 and how ASEAN Chair as Laos will encounter in 2024. Briefly, the political and geopolitical rivalry, the competitions between the superpower. So ASEAN would face a myriad of challenges presented by this geopolitical rivalry. That it would put a big burden on the chair. Apart from political rivalry, we have security and non-security issue, the climate change. Apart from that, the regional issues that Mr. Choi has mentioned, the Ukraine, the South China Sea, the Korean Peninsula, the Middle East issues, and very close to ASEAN is the Myanmar issues. All these issues would present a big challenge for the Laos Chairmanship next year. Apart from that, when we look at the economical situations for 2024, we have to admit that we just emerged from the outbreak of COVID-19. Many countries are recovering, but those economic situations across the world is still fragile, and many ASEAN countries also recovering. Some are gaining pace, but some countries are lagging behind. So these also represent another challenge for us. Against all this backdrop, the Laos had decided to adopt a theme, ASEAN enhancing connectivity and resilience. This theme has been formulated based on the experience by previous chairs, whether Brunei, and Cambodia, and then Indonesia. This theme really has two important factors or elements. That is connectivity, and the second one is resilience. On the connectivity, we believe connectivity is one of the most relevant to ASEAN. If you recall, back in 2016, when Laos chaired ASEAN, we adopted ASEAN Master Plan on connectivity, and 2025 would be the last years where this master plan would be implemented. So, enhancing connectivity as a theme is one element of the theme of the Lao PDR Chairmanship, really respond to the demand, especially the implementation of ASEAN Master Plan on connectivity. Apart from that, we are here talking about people-to-people connectivity. And it would be even more relevant if you are talking about the chair of ASEAN 2024, because Laos is the only landlocked countries in ASEAN, and connectivity would hold the key to any success in terms of economic prosperity, economic recovery from the scourge of pandemic a few years back. The second element is enhancing resilience. That's reflections of the theme of ASEAN. As we know, as we presented earlier, 2024 would be a big challenge year for ASEAN as a whole, let alone for the chair. Geopolitical rivalry, economic uncertainty. Therefore, ASEAN needs to be strong and resilient vis-a-vis all the situations that are facing ASEAN in 2024. Here, we are talking about enhancing ASEAN unity, ASEAN centrality. All these can be related to how we deal with ASEAN outlook for Indo-Pacific. As we are aware, when we are talking about ASEAN in driving seat, ASEAN centrality, we have to make sure that ASEAN implement and bring on board all dialogue partner of ASEAN and other development partners of ASEAN to really focus on ASEAN outlook on Indo-Pacific in implementation. Another element here is the issue of Myanmar. I think ASEAN has to be united. ASEAN has to make sure that the 5-point consensus that ASEAN leaders adopted back in 2021 fully and effectively implemented. And of course, last but not least, we are working hard to make sure that Timor-Leste, the observer that ASEAN leaders adopted earlier, to bring it closer, if not next year during Lao Chairmanship, be a full member of ASEAN, but to be very closer to the full-fledged ASEAN membership. Apart from that, here also we would like to focus on the deepened cooperation between ASEAN and its dialogue partner, as well as other external ASEAN partners. Having said that, the theme of Lao Chairmanship next year would focus on the urgencies, the issue that we need to build upon the success made by previous chair. Of course, there is no guarantee that all this would be done in the course of 1 year. But we believe that under the theme, we'll be able to make a lot of contribution to the process of ASEAN community building, and later on, it can be carry on to the upcoming ASEAN Chair 25 or 26 later on. Having said that, I would like now to share with you the possible priority areas for 2024 Lao Chairmanship. I must say this is an ongoing process. We are considering we would officially announce when during the ASEAN Foreign Minister retreat in Luang Prabang next month in January. But nevertheless, since we are here, you would be the first to hear from us the focus, the priority that we are working on to be officially announced during the retreat. Our priority would be nine priority, and this priority would be evolved around the two elements of Lao Chairmanship theme, that is enhancing connectivity and enhancing resilience. Under the element of enhancing connectivity, we are looking for the four possible priority areas. The first one is integrating and connecting economy. Here, we want to build strong connection between economies of ASEAN and ASEAN partners, in particular through trade, investment, narrowing development gap, building resilience through economic growth and stability. The second priority, forging an inclusive and sustainable future. This priority area recognizes the importance of sustainable development for ASEAN, connecting environmental, social objective with building a more resilient ASEAN region. The third priority, transforming for the digital future. Here, we have been talking about digital economy, digital society, and this has been carried on from our previous chair of ASEAN, and it has been implemented. So I would say this is a commitment and continuations of the ASEAN plan over the years. Here we would support ASEAN emergence as a leading digital economy, building deeper connection across ASEAN and with the world. The fourth element is about connecting people to people. That is culture and art, promoting the role of ASEAN culture and the art for inclusion and sustainability. We know that ASEAN is one of the most diverse, if not the most diverse organizations in the world. When we talk about culture, you have everything in ASEAN. So it's very important that we promote these diversities among culture and art. That's four priority under enhancing connectivities. Now, and we have five priority under enhancing resilience. First, development of strategic plan to implement the ASEAN Community Vision 2045. We are aware that by 2025, the ASEAN Vision 2025 would come to an end, and we are now in the process of devising the next generations of ASEAN Vision, so ASEAN Vision 2045. So now, during Lao Chairmanship, we would also focus on drafting or formulating this vision for the next generation. The second element is enhancing resilience. Is promoting ASEAN centrality. And I elaborated earlier, in order to ensure that to enhance ASEAN resilience, we need to make sure that ASEAN centrality is upheld. Here we are talking about how we deal with our dialogue partners and other external partners, how we deal with the pending regional and international issues. Again, in this context, we are referring to how to help Myanmar address the situation, the issue of Myanmar, the Indo-Pacific, the outlook on Indo-Pacific of ASEAN, and other issue related to ASEAN and its external partners. The third element, the third priority, is promoting environmental cooperation. This is also very important because climate change resilience must be a focus. Within ASEAN, we have an issue of haze, smoke across the country. I think this is an urgent issue that we need to discuss and try to find appropriate measures to address it. The fourth one is women and children. We believe that gender equality, the right of children, is something that we have to advocate it and promote. And last but not least, the fifth priority in this element is health. All ASEAN countries just emerged from the pandemic. We are recovering our economy, society start to build up and to become normal. And throughout the past 2 or 3 years during the pandemic, ASEAN had exerted a lot of effort to establish an institutions as well as mechanism to prevent any eventual emergence of new pandemic disease. So this is a very important aspect and a priority that we need to focus over the next years during the Lao Chairmanship. Having said that, these 9 priorities would not be possible to be fully implemented effectively without the support of all ASEAN member states as well as its external partners. Therefore, we hope that these 9 priorities, which would be, as I was just want to stress that officially would be announced at the retreat, would be supported by all ASEAN member states as well as its dialogue partners and other external partners. During the Lao Chairmanship 2024, of course, we won't be doing everything that will be perfect, because 1 year is just nothing. The time flies very fast. We try our best to contribute, to make sure the Lao Chairmanship at least contributes something to the whole process of ASEAN community building over the next years. With that, I end my presentations, and I look forward to interaction, questions, comments from the participants, both here in the room as well as those online. Thank you very much.